Um, Tushar, you're not audible. I cannot hear you.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি ম্যাম আমার আওয়াজ যাচ্ছে না, আমি সেটাই বুঝতে পারছি না। এখানে আমি অপশনটাই কিছু খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না।
See, there is a chat option maybe somewhere down there. If you can write something in the chat section, so I'll make sure that you can hear me and then I can start the session. Okay, it's okay. So I'll start the session. If you want to ask anything or just you want to say something, you just please write down here, okay? Because I can't hear you. So I'll just start the session. So as you know that this paper, the name of this paper is SEC 1, that is entrepreneurship, and this is from semester 3. And before starting it, I would like to show you the syllabus. I think I can show it from here. Just a second.
হ্যালো ম্যাম, শুনতে পাচ্ছেন এখন আপনি? হ্যালো ম্যাম, আওয়াজ আসছে এখন?
Okay, now I can see you.
আর ভয়েস আসছে ম্যাম?
But I can't hear you, but it's okay. Okay, I'll start the session. I think, can you hear me?
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
Okay. So in this paper, you have 5 units, and today I'm going to talk about the first unit, that is the introductory part of this paper. And I've prepared a slide, so I'm going to show you that, so it will be easier for you to understand. Let me just show you the slide. Okay, can you see it? Okay. So here in this paper, first of all, we would know about the entrepreneurship, the basic, that is the definition of entrepreneurship. So according to the definition, the entrepreneurship is the ability and readiness to develop, organize and run a business enterprise along with any of its uncertainties in order to make a profit. And the most prominent example of entrepreneurship is the starting of a new business. So we all know about, I mean, we are very similar about the term entrepreneurship, that is the ability and readiness to develop a new thing, maybe a new idea or a new product or a service, and organize and run a new business enterprise along with its uncertainties. As it is a new business, there may be some uncertainties in it, and we are doing, or we are developing the product in order to make a profit. So the most prominent example is that starting a new business. When we start a new business, usually we call it entrepreneurship, right? The entrepreneurial vision is defined by discovery and risk taking, and is an indispensable part of a nation's capacity to succeed in an ever-changing and more competitive global marketplace. So the entrepreneurial vision is defined by discovery and risk taking. So in entrepreneurship, we see that there is a new thing is discovered and there are risks associated with it, right? When we are discovering a new thing and we are putting a new product or an idea into the market, there is always some risk in it. So the more modern entrepreneurship definition is about transforming the world by solving big problems. So why we need entrepreneurship? We need to solve the big problems in the society, and thereby we develop an idea to solve the problem, like initiating social changes, creating an innovative product, or presenting a new life-changing solution. The people who create these businesses are often referred to an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is the person who create these new businesses. Now we can see the definition of entrepreneur. So in simple terms, an entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business with the aim to make a profit. The entrepreneur is defined as someone who has the ability and desire to establish, administer, and succeed in a startup venture, along with risk entitled to it to make profits. So an entrepreneur is the person who sets up the business. He has to have the ability and desire to establish it, the administration, and he has to be successful, along with the risk he has to take to make profits out of the business. The entrepreneurs are often known as a source of a new idea or innovator and bring new ideas in the market by replacing old with a new invention. So the entrepreneur brings in a new invention in the market and it replaces the old innovation. According to Oxford Dictionary, an entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risk in the hope of profit. So in case of entrepreneurship, the profit is a big deal. I mean, in any business, the business is set up to gain some profit at last, right? So according to Oxford Dictionary, this is the definition of an entrepreneur. The term entrepreneur is derived from the French word entrepreneur, which means to undertake. It is commonly used to describe an individual who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on financial risk to do so. So in entrepreneurship or in like any other business, there is financial risk in it. Around 1700 AD, the term was used for architects and contractors of public works. In many countries, the term entrepreneur is often associated with a person who starts his or her own new business. The term was first defined by the Irish-French economist Richard Cantillon, and the term first appeared in the French dictionary, Dictionnaire universel de commerce of Jacques des Brussons, published in 1723. So this is the history regarding the term entrepreneur, and you can see that from where the entrepreneur word has derived and what was it at the beginning. That means what was the meaning of entrepreneurship in the beginning. So this is the definition of an entrepreneur. Is it clear? Okay. Now we go to the characteristics of an entrepreneur. So the characteristics of an entrepreneur that contribute to the success are the result of his achievement motivation. So there are some basic characteristics which an entrepreneur should have to be successful in the business. A successful entrepreneur must be a person with technical competence. So the person must be technically good and knowledgeable and competitive. He has to be initiative, good judgment. He has to have good judgment, intelligence, leadership qualities, self-confidence, energy, attitude, creativeness, fairness, honesty, tactfulness, and emotional stability. So these are the basic traits what an entrepreneur should have. Now we are talking and we are discussing few main characteristics which an entrepreneur should have. So the first characteristic is the mental ability. Mental ability consists of intelligence and creative thinking. So the entrepreneur should be intelligent as well as the person has to have some creative thinking, as because the entrepreneurship is related to some new idea or some new innovation. So it has to be something creative. The person has to have the creative mind and he has to be intelligent as well. So an entrepreneur must be reasonably intelligent and should have creative thinking and must be able to engage in the analysis of various problems and situations in order to deal with them. So there might be different problems when executing a new idea about a product or a service. So he has to have the ability to analyze the problems and sort out the problems and come out with a solution. The entrepreneur should anticipate changes and must be able to study the various situations under which decisions have to be made. So these are the traits or the mental abilities what an entrepreneur should have to be successful. Clear? Okay, am I going too fast, Tushar? Okay, so I'll go to the next slide. If you want, you can also write down the points for future if you want to. Okay, so that in future you will be able to study it. Okay, you are writing. Okay, fine. I'll go to the next slide. So the next point is that the entrepreneur should have clear objectives. So an entrepreneur should have a clear objective as to the exact nature of the business. So what the business is about, what is the nature of the business. He should have a proper view of that. He should have a proper objective that what he wants to achieve from the business. And the nature of the goods to be produced, then subsidiary activities to be undertaken. All these things should be clear in his mind before starting a business. And a successful entrepreneur must and may have the objective to establish the product, to make profit, and to render social service. So along with doing the business, he might have to do some social services. So all these things, all these objectives should be cleared in the entrepreneur's mind. So he has to have clear objective about the business. Next point is business secrecy. An entrepreneur must be able to guard business secrets. So that means there might be many secrets in the business. So the person should be able to keep the secrets, private, so that they don't come out in public, right? So every business has some secrets, maybe secret tactics or any secret formula or anything. So he has to guard the secrets. Leakage of business secrets to trade competitors is a serious matter which should be carefully guarded against by any entrepreneur. An entrepreneur should be able to make a proper selection of his assistants. So he has to make sure that his assistants are loyal and genuine so that the secrets in the business doesn't come out. Okay. Next point is the most important point, that the most important characteristic a person or an entrepreneur should have is the human relations ability. So the most important personality factor contributing to the success of an entrepreneur are emotional stability, personal relations, consideration, and tactfulness. So when an entrepreneurship is emotionally stable and he has good relation with his peers, with his subordinates, then he's tactful, he is considerable. So all these abilities make him a good entrepreneur. An entrepreneur must maintain good relationships with his customers if he is to establish relation that will encourage them to continue to patronize his business. Obviously, a person, an entrepreneur who has a good relationship with their customers, that will be obviously beneficial to the business. The customer will be will have the feeling of gratitude, and he will obviously come over and over to the business and buy the same products, right? So you have to maintain a good customer relationship. So an entrepreneur should be able to maintain that relationship, first of all establish and then maintain it with the customers. He must also maintain good relations with his employees if he is to motivate them to perform their jobs at a high level of efficiency. If the entrepreneur wants their subordinates or employees to work efficiently, so he must have a good relationship with with his employees. Entrepreneur who maintains good human relations with customers, employees, suppliers, creditors, and the community is much more likely to succeed in his business than the individual who does not practice good human relations. So it is basic characteristic of any entrepreneur or any business person or any person in general, right? So it is clear. Okay, so the next point is communication ability. It is also a very important point that communication ability is the ability to communicate effectively. If you don't have a good communication with your customer or with your peers or with your employees, so there will be always a gap, right? So good communication. Yes, you want to say something? Okay. No, human relation is the overall thing. Communication is the way you communicate with them. Human relation is also about how you make the relationship with the customers and your subordinates. Communication is one of the things which makes the relationship better. It is one important factor of human relation. Human relation is consisting with another factors as well, right? Sometimes maybe um, you want to when you have a good customer, you are providing some coupons or discounts to the customer. That is a way of creating a good relationship with the customer, right? You are providing feedback facilities, like if your customer wants to communicate with you, this is one kind of communication. But the way you're giving free gifts or discounts, that is not communication, but that is maintaining your relationship with the customers. And in case of employees as well, communication is a basic factor which creates a good relationship. But relationship is not only about communication, right? Okay, clear. Okay. So good communication means both the sender and the receiver understand each other and are being understood. An entrepreneur who can effectively communicate with the customers, employees, suppliers, creditors will be more likely to succeed than the entrepreneur who does not. Maybe you are an entrepreneur, you have a business, and you just sit in the office. You don't communicate with your peers, you don't communicate with anyone, but you may have a business. It may not be very good, but you have customers, your assistants are working good, but you personally, you don't communicate with them. Your assistants or your subordinates do all the thing, right? So it is not that you have the communication ability, a good communication ability, but you have the business. But here what it is saying, that an entrepreneur should have the communication ability himself. He should be able to communicate with every person, every stakeholders, so that the business improvises and it becomes profitable in the long run. Is it clear? Okay. Then technical knowledge. It is very important nowadays to be technically very informative, as the entrepreneur must have a reasonable level of technical knowledge. Knowledge is the one ability that most people are able to acquire if they try hard enough. So in nowadays, when we can see that most of the businesses has their e-commerce websites, they are going online, they are providing things online, and so nowadays, to acquire that knowledge, technical knowledge is very important in any business, in any sectors. So it has become one of the basic things in any business. That means the technical knowledge. So these are the few characteristics which are very important for an entrepreneur to have. Okay, just a second. Okay. So the key elements of an entrepreneurship. In an entrepreneurship business, there are usually 4 key elements which are to be followed. First is the innovation. Elements means the things which should be there in an entrepreneurship business, which are the basics of an entrepreneurship. First is the innovation. So innovation means an entrepreneur is the key source of innovation and variation in an economy. It is actually one of the most important tools of an entrepreneur's success. They use innovation to exploit opportunities available in the market and overcome any threats. So this innovation can be a new product, service, technology, production technique, marketing strategy, etc. Or innovation can involve doing something better or more economically. So that means there are different opportunities available in the market, right? So you have to be innovative to understand that what opportunity you should take and what you can innovate new, so that you have a new idea, you have a new innovation, and you can start your own business, and which also helps the society as well. So that means you're exploiting the opportunity available. Yes. Proprietor is a different term. Proprietor means like যেটা আমরা বাংলাতে বলি মালিক. If you have a building, you are the proprietor of the building. Yes, the owner. Owner is, I have this bottle, I am the owner of this bottle because I have bought it. I have paid money, I am the owner. I am the proprietor. In simple terms, I am the proprietor of this bottle. I have this house, I am the proprietor of this house. But entrepreneur is related to a business, not something, some asset or something, right? So owner is a different term and entrepreneur is a different term. Entrepreneur is related to a business only, a new idea and innovation. Suppose there, especially you can see from the science background that some, like if we consider the recent scenario, suppose one firm or is coming up with a new vaccine for COVID, right? It is something innovative. So that firm is the entrepreneur who is coming up with a new idea, some innovation, coming up with the vaccine. So that is the entrepreneur who is coming up with the new idea, and then he will produce it, he will put it in the market, right? So he's not the owner of the vaccine, he's the entrepreneur, he is the innovator. So these two things are completely different. Okay, so here we say that what an entrepreneur looks for, he looks for different opportunities. In where you find opportunity, you will come up with a new idea and you will start a new business. So the innovation can be for a new product, for a new service. It can be related to technology, like there are different kinds of new technical things are coming up each and every day. It can be a production technique. Suppose you are having a particular production technique in your business, but some other firm is coming up with a new idea, with new technique to produce the same thing, right? Suppose previously we used to have the CDs. We used to listen music from CDs. Before that, we used to have cassettes, right? Then CDs, DVDs came, then iPod and all this came. Now we stream online. So the thing is same. We are listening to songs, but there are new techniques are coming, new technologies are coming. We are getting the same thing, the same content. We are listening to music, but then new techniques are coming to produce the same service, right? So there are opportunities, so there are innovations, so there are new entrepreneurships. Then there should be marketing strategy, etc. Or innovation that can involve doing something better and more economically. It should be economically viable. So that now what we do, we used to buy the CDs and DVDs before. Now we stream online, right? So it is comparatively economically viable for us. Either way, in the concept of entrepreneurship is the key, it is a key factor. That means the concept, the innovation, the basic idea you have behind the innovation is the main factor of any entrepreneurship business. That means simply that your business has to be something innovative, it has to be something new, right? That is the basic idea or the basic element of entrepreneurship. Clear? Yeah. Okay, so the next slide. So the second thing is risk taking. Entrepreneurship and risk taking go hand in hand. In any entrepreneurship business, you will see there will always be a risk, because it is from a new idea. You don't know that new business will sustain in the market or not, it will make profit or not. So there will always be risk associated with it. So one of the most important features of entrepreneurship is that the whole business is run and managed by one person. Initially, it is one person who is developing the idea, right? So there is no one to share the risk with. Initially, suppose you are coming up with a new business, so you are the entrepreneurship, you only have to manage and run the business, so you are dealing with the risk. Not taking any risk can stagnate a business, and excessive impulsive risk taking can cause losses. If you don't want to take any risk, your business will be stagnant. It will, will not move forward. Yeah. And if you take excessive risk, maybe you can be in loss. So good entrepreneur knows how to take and manage the risk of his business. So the risk should be proper risk, not that it should not be excessive, and you should not be taking any risk at all. It should not be like that. But the willingness of an entrepreneur to take risks gives them a competitive edge in the economy. There must be many competitors in the market. So you, the entrepreneur, should be willing to take the risk associated with the business. It helps them to exploit the opportunities in the economy provides. So obviously, if there is a famous term that no risk, no gain, right? So if you don't take risk, you won't get any gain. So you have to take a proper and calculative risk. So this is the second element of entrepreneurship. First is innovation, then it is risk taking. Okay, just a second. Okay, so the third point is vision. Vision or foresight is one of the main driving forces behind any entrepreneur. It is the energy that drives the business forward by using the foresight of the entrepreneur. So what is vision? Vision means in any business, you have an objective or a goal that, okay, you have an idea, but that idea should serve an objective. If you're putting a new tech, suppose you are putting up a new app is as an example, so that app should be used for a particular objective, right? If you have a clothing app, its objective is to sell as many as clothes to the consumers. So but what is your vision, that what you want to achieve from that new innovation in, suppose after 5 years or after 10 years or after 15 years? What is your bigger goal from that innovation? So that is the vision, that is the foresight. It is the main driving force. If you have a bigger objective, you have a goal, that objective will drive you to do your business, to continue your business, right? So it is the energy that drives the business forward. It gives you the energy to drive your business forward by using the foresight of the entrepreneur. That means we say that, okay, we have a dream, that, okay, we want to achieve it. That dream, that vision is mentioned here. So it is what gives the business an outline for the future. That means what in future, what task you want to complete, what risk you want to take, what culture you want to establish, etc. So all these things should be included in the vision of your business. All great entrepreneurs of the world that started with an entrepreneurship business are known to have a great vision. So they had a great vision behind the idea they innovated. So that made them successful in the world. This helps them set out short-term and long-term goals. Suppose you have short-term goals for 2 years or for 5 years, you want to achieve this and that, and also for the long-term goals for their business, and also plan ways to achieve those goals or those objectives. So the vision helps you to go forward in the business. You have to be sure that you have short-term and long-term goals, and you have to make sure that you have planned the ways to achieve those goals as well, right? It is related to risk taking as well. When you're thinking about a goal or a vision, you have to calculate the risk associated with it. So all these elements are interrelated, right? Clear? Okay. Next point is organization. In entrepreneurship, it is essentially a one-man show. Usually an entrepreneur is a one-man business. So it is essentially a one-man show. An entrepreneur bears all the risk and enjoys all the rewards. And make sure he has the help of employees and middle level management, yet he must be the one in ultimate control. So the entrepreneur should have the ultimate control over himself. He can take the help of employees. Obviously he must take the help of employees and management, but he should have the ultimate control in the organization. This requires a lot of organization and impeccable organizational skills. So he has to have the skills to have a proper management in the business. An entrepreneur must be able to manage and organize his finances, his employees, his resources, etc. So an entrepreneur should have all the characteristics. That means he has to know all the things. He has to know how to manage the finances, his employees. Maybe he initially, when you are developing a new business with a new idea, you may not have too many employees. Maybe you have fund crunch. Okay, so in that point of time, you have to maintain and organize your finances yourself. You may not have any financial manager or anyone, right? So you have to maintain it yourself. So the entrepreneur must have the skills and knowledge about all the things, how to maintain and organize the resources, how to communicate with the employees, how to have a good relation, how to communicate with the customers, and all those things he has to make sure that he has all the abilities and he has a proper management in his organization. So his organizational abilities are one of the most important elements in case of entrepreneurship. So these are the 4 elements which an entrepreneurship must have. So innovation, first of all, then you have to take the risk, you have to have a vision, and then a proper organization. Clear? Okay. So the next point is importance. Why we need entrepreneurship? Why is it important to have an entrepreneurship business? So these are the few points I have mentioned that discussed here, and I think, is it visible? You can see the points. It's in short font actually. Okay, I'll discuss it one by one. First of all is the creation of employment. Entrepreneurship generates employment. If you have a new business, there will be new employment opportunities, right? So it provides an entry-level job, requires for gaining experience, training for unskilled workers. So obviously when you have a new business, there will be employment generation. So it creates employment. The first thing. The second thing is innovation. It is the hub of innovation. In case of entrepreneurship, we see new ideas are generated. So that provides new product ventures, new market, new technology, and quality of goods are improved, etc. And then increases the standard of living of the people. When you are providing new products, developed products, obviously the standard of living of the people will increase, will be better, right? Okay. So the next point is impact on society and community development. A society becomes greater if the employment base is large and diversified. If you have large employment base in your economy, in your society, and it is diversified, that means different kinds of employment is there. So obviously the society will be beneficial. It changes the society and promotes facilities like higher expenditure on education, better sanitation, fewer slums, a higher level of home ownership. That means overall, the basic thing is it is improving the society. It is improving the economy. So it has an impact on the society and in the community development. The community is developing. The entrepreneurship assists the organization in a more stable and high quality of community life. So people will have a better life if there are better entrepreneurships in the society, in the business, in the markets. So it will automatically have an impact and it will automatically develop the societal and community in overall. So the next point is increased standard of living. As we have seen in the previous point, that entrepreneurship helps to improve the standard of living of a person by increasing the income. When the income is increasing, that means you're generating employment, the income is increasing, your standard of living is improving. The standard of living means increase in the number of consumption of various goods and services by household of a particular product. If you have, your income is increasing, you will consume more products. It is very obvious, right? so your standard of living will increase. Then it supports research and development. Entrepreneurship is related to new products and services. So new products and services need to be researched and tested before launching in the market. Therefore, an entrepreneur also dispenses finance for research and development with research institutions and universities. This promotes research, general construction and development in the economy. So you know about the term R&D, right? Research and development. When you're doing more and more, you are indulging in more and more entrepreneurship, you will do more research, there will be development as well. So it supports and promotes R&D. So these are the importance of entrepreneurship, why we need entrepreneurship in the country or in the economy. So because of all these points, we need entrepreneurship to be promoted or to be adapted. Now, along with entrepreneurship, there are different dimensions to entrepreneurship. The first, I have discussed only 2 dimensions. There are also other dimensions as well. Here in this session, I have only discussed 2 dimensions. First is intrapreneurship. So what is intrapreneurship? The term intra-corporate entrepreneur was introduced by Gifford Pinchot in 1973. It was later revised as intrapreneur. The term intrapreneur was officially recognized in 1992 with the definition given in the American Heritage Dictionary. Accordingly, intrapreneur is a person within a large corporation who takes direct responsibility for turning an idea into a profitable finished product through assertive risk-taking and innovation. Here what we can see, the person on intrapreneur is working in a large corporation. So it is not a new organization. There is a large corporation, he is working there, but he has the responsibility to turn a new idea into a profitable finished product or service. And he has to make sure what the risks are associated with it and what the innovation should be there. So later on, as you will be clear about the idea, let us continue. Entrepreneurship is also known as corporate entrepreneurship, where formal structure for promoting entrepreneurship lead to greater possibility of profitability and growth. So for greater profitability and growth, the entrepreneurship is adapted in corporations. Many a times, nearly 80% of any organization's employees feel discontented and demotivated to pursue the structured activity with a predefined systems and processes. Suppose you have a new idea, but your employees are not willing to, or they're demotivated to execute the new idea in the predefined system what is prevailing in the corporation already. So here the entrepreneurship comes. They strongly experience the need to innovate either the mechanism or product or process to either redo or undo or outdo the earlier ways of doing the business. So the way they do the business here, that is changed by the entrepreneur. If not properly stimulated and encouraged, such employees may leave the organization and start new entity of their own. An employee who is reluctant, who is demotivated to work in the predefined structure in a business or in a corporation, he may feel that, okay, I'll leave the job, I'll start a new business. So how will you retain the employee in the corporation? Here the entrepreneurship comes with a new idea, with a new innovation. But when properly nurtured, that means the employees are properly nurtured by the entrepreneurship, they provide cutting edge to the organization by coming out with more cost-effective ways of doing the while task or innovating altogether a novelty. Such entrepreneur, while drawing from organizations' resources, become an exceptional at leading the teams and make quick decisions to seize the opportunity. Quite often, the presence of entrepreneurs are rewarding for employees as well as for the organization, as they chalk out the strategy to convert unconventional out-of-the-box ideas into viable, lucrative business models. So the entrepreneurship, they are innovating new business models within the corporation so that the employees are encouraged to work in the business. They are doing the things in cost effective ways. They are not reluctant or demotivated to leave the job. So this is the this is the basic idea of an entrepreneur or the entrepreneurship. Clear? Okay. So why we need entrepreneurship? Why it is important? First of all, the identification of the opportunity. So the first task of an entrepreneur is to identify the lucrative idea. He needs to test whether the idea is user friendly, market adaptable, and in consonance with the specified goals and strategies of the organization. So he has to find out the opportunity, that he has to find out and identify a new idea, how he will adapt the idea is user friendly or not, it will be acceptable and adaptable or not, and it is specifically related to the goal and strategies of the organization or not. If the entrepreneur has an idea which is not at all associated with the goal or the objective of the organization, so it will be useless, right? So it should be in line with the specified goal of the organization, as well as it has to be acceptable, adaptable, and also user friendly. Then second is idea presentation. The entrepreneur clearly presents the idea to other members of the organization and takes their feedback and suggestions from improvement. That means you are improving the business model. So you have to present your idea before implementing it, right? And the other members are also have to give their feedback, and they have to also
Agree.
like, if they don't rely with the idea, or if they don't like the idea, they can give their feedback, and you can make sure you can make the changes in the model as well. So it also important to present the idea, and then you have to implement the idea. That is idea implementation. To implement the discussed proposal, the entrepreneur forms a team which puts the idea in action and then converts it into an enterprise. Then you have to have a strategy and planning. Effective entrepreneurial strategies always help the entrepreneur or the organization to win over the competitors and grab every lucrative opportunity. So the strategy of an effective entrepreneurship, it will always help the organization to win over the competitors and to grab any opportunity available in the market. Then expansion of the enterprise. The ultimate goal is to create the kind of entrepreneurial mindset and infrastructure which are needed to support growth in the organization. Why you are making the changes in the organization? You want to support growth in the organization, right? So that's why you are making the changes. You are encouraging an entrepreneur. So the ultimate goal is to expand the entrepreneurship or the enterprise. Is it clear? Okay. The next point is fostering innovation in the organization. So entrepreneurship fosters organizational growth while strengthening employee morale and productivity. You want to improve the productivity of the employees. Entrepreneurship primarily thrives on the innovation and creativity of employees. Maybe your employees are very creative, but they are not motivated, right? So here the entrepreneur comes. He improvises and he encourages the employees so that they can use their creativity. Entrepreneurship and innovation are so closely intertwined that often it is difficult to imagine entrepreneurship without innovation. entrepreneurship without innovation. So in entrepreneurship as well, innovation is very important. How you will make sure that your employees are working properly. Here you have to put an idea, right? Here you have to be innovative. You have to come up with a innovative business model so that your employees are encouraged. They are doing the work cost effectively. They are they are not demotivated. They want to work in the organization. They are properly totally motivated toward the objective of the organization. So you have to be innovative in that way. That means the entrepreneur should be innovative. Then the leadership. Last but the most important is of an entrepreneur is to be the leader and drive other employees within the team. He has to have the leadership quality. And then the organization towards sustainability and realization of innate talent of staff. So if the entrepreneur has the leadership quality, then only he will be able to, you know, lead the team and make sure that whatever the idea he has, that is um, implemented and it is accordingly followed. So these are the importance of an intrapreneurship. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Then what are the key characteristics? It promotes managers to be more innovative. Here it is happening inside the corporation. So the manager has to be innovative and take responsibility. Usually we see the managers act as intrapreneurship, right? So while demonstrating charismatic leadership qualities, so he has to have leadership qualities as well. Entrepreneurship projects are funded by a large business organization and agreed the percentage of profits are remitted to the fund or the head of provider or headquarters of the business. Entrepreneurship will cultivate entrepreneurial skills culture within the corporate culture where managers will be motivated to accept more risk. Then due to the backing from the headquarters, chances of failure are low when compared to startups. So it is not a startup. So here the chances of failure are comparatively low. So these are the characteristics of entrepreneurship. Now the next term is technopreneurship. Technopreneurship is the combination of two words, that is technology and entrepreneurship. It is the entrepreneurship in a technology-intensive context. It is a process of merging technological and entrepreneurial talents and skills. It is the transformation of goods and service. Technology is an integral part of technopreneurship. Technology and entrepreneurial skills are leading many economies to prosperity, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. You know all these names, right? Mark Zuckerberg.
Elon
These
Musk.
are, you can see in the brackets that they are the founder of this particular companies, right? Like Bill Gates is for Microsoft, Steve Jobs is for Apple. So these are the famous examples of technopreneurship. So they have come up with a new idea which is corely related to technology. So this is the technopreneurship. So a technopreneur is an entrepreneur who is technology savvy, creative, innovative, and dynamic, dares to be different, and takes the unexplored path and very passionate about his work. He takes challenges and strives to lead his life successfully. He has no fear of failure and hence takes failure as a learning experience, a stimulator to see things differently. What is the significance? In a dynamically changing global situation, technopreneurship plays an important role due to the following features. It generates employment, obviously. It makes the best use of local resources. It decentralizes and diversifies business. It promotes technology. It forms capital. It promotes an entrepreneurial culture. So these are the significance of technopreneurship. Okay. So this was the final. Okay, so is it clear till now? Okay. So I have just covered the first few topics from the unit 1, and in the next upcoming classes, I'll try to cover the other topics as well. There are a few other topics left from the unit 1, other dimensions of entrepreneurship, which I'll discuss maybe in the next class. So is it clear till now? Okay, so I think almost 1 hour is over. It was 1 hour session. So, okay, this is for today. If you have any query, you can ask in the chat section, or you can also call me or mail me. Okay. Okay, so I'm ending this session.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Good night. Good night.